Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another day of Be Agile Scrum. We are into week 6 and only 2 weeks remaining. The last week will be completely dedicated towards projects. However, I need maximum participation then. And for that, you need to be present in each sessions. So before we begin, you all remember that last time we were talking about data analytics using Excel, and we had held some extra sessions for that. So how many of you could attend both the days from here?
Sir, I could not attend the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, I attended both sessions.
I
Okay,
did it
awesome.
both sessions.
Awesome. Great. So yeah.
Sir, can I get a
So,
recording of second one?
unfortunately, I'm not allowed to share the recording. I can only
Oh,
share
okay.
if anything happens in business analysis. Yeah. So
Okay.
thank you so much for confirming that you could attain that. But again, in case you want to attend it in future, I'll be definitely in the next batch. I'll be definitely sharing the recording, not recording, the link like I shared this time. So that time you can definitely get benefit out of it. So that's one thing. So after business analytics that you have learned some formula and pivot table, because those are important elements for business analysts to know as well. However, they also need to know some business models. We will be talking about business analysis models. But before that, you need to understand for converting those business models are just converting information into presentable annotation, but those information has to be managed first. And before we manage those before we manage those information, we need to see those information is coming from where. Those are known as stakeholders. Then we need to learn how to manage those stakeholders as well. And before we could manage those stakeholders, we need to know who are those stakeholders. Okay, so today's session will be dedicated towards them, and that's the reason we will start with that note. And because very for a business analysis track will be including these 2 days, it is going to be total of 3 more weeks. So having said so, let's get started. And you know that there are some discipline to be followed before we master this art of business analysis. And for that very reason, I am going to share my screen with you all, and we are going to get to know the code of honors for that. And let me share my screen, and please confirm if you all can see my screen. Do you all see?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so
Yes,
much.
we can.
The very first one that shows that that says that show up live, because we are knowing Agile is the foundation of IT today, and business analysis is the pillar. And Agile is full of ceremonies that demands you to be show up live. It means that you be on time, remain punctual, and highly committed. So why you need to do this today? Why you need to know this today? Because it is said that how you do anything is how you do everything. And it means that once you practice this over here, just considering this training itself as a project, it becomes quite easy for you as a future Scrum Master or product owner or business analyst to follow once you get placed in a real job. That's number one. Number two is that because you are in this journey with learning, so learning makes you automatically a student, but you don't be the student, be the best student with full stack student. Okay, it means that you do all the assignment, do self-research, and repeat whatever you have learned. And third one says that because you are on this journey following these guides, you need to take the full responsibility moment you meet your success. And even if you don't, you hit failure, you need to take the responsibility of that as well, because once you take the responsibility of that, then only there are chances you may go back and correct it. And when you correct it, you will realize failure is not a failure, that becomes trail to the success. The fourth one, to do so, it really requires a concrete mindset, that it starts with learning mindset, that is part of lean management system of software delivery. So always focus towards being a continuous learner. In fact, you are aspiring to continue to grow in your career, then adapt the ability of being a lifelong learner. And abbreviation, we can call it as being an LLL. So just you can embrace this element in your life, and to do so, it really requires you to be positive minded. More positive minded you become, you will find yourself going more complaint free. In fact, your mindset become more solution oriented, and more solution oriented you become, you will find yourself getting loaded in more gratitude. Gratitude leads to productivity. Gratitude leads to happiness, and happiness is your new productivity in the corporate, and that is the most demanded one. And the fifth one, to do so, you need to increase receptivity every single day. And for that very reason, I request generally all of my connections, in fact, not just to those who learn from me, to adopt 30 days challenge. 30 days challenge is one of the audio program that you need to get to listen every single day for 30 days. It's a 40 minutes long track, but you can put it into 2x mode while you are walking or running or jogging, or just doing normal exercises, and it will bring the positive impact in every single course of your life. And you can get its link after the session. Just ping me and you will get to have this 30 days challenge program. This is completely free, no cost, everything is on me, and this is just a simple audio program that you can choose to attend. And this because it is helping you to increase your receptivity towards the success. Second one, because you're taking a deep dive into deep learning, you need to follow golden quadrant of learning. For deep learning, that starts with step. The very first step says that declaration with the anchor. You know by now that what is the meaning behind the declaration and meaning behind declaration with anchor. And the moment you are done with declaring with anchor, then take a deep dive towards deep learning. Then draw whatever you have learned after 24 hours using pen and paper, and then summarize it in a less than 90 seconds of video in a way that even 5 years old can understand. Why you all need to do so? Because ultimately it is going to retain in your memory forever, and thereby you will realize whether you are becoming expert in this topic or not. Having said so, let's take a deep dive towards declaration with anchor following the deep learning. So can you all see the selected statement on my screen, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So how we are going to do is that at the count of 3, we are going to put the anchor, and anchor is going to be the body anchor, that is going to be a self high five or the clap that you just now heard. So how it is going to be, I will count 1, 2, 3 and say clap, then you are going to clap, and then I will read this statement, and after I'm done reading this statement, you need to follow this statement. So is it clear to everyone? Is ready for declaration? Unmute and say yes. Thank you so much. So let's get started. 1, 2, 3 and clap and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What others can learn and master,
I too can do that.
I too can do that.
And one more time, let's get started with the anchor. 1, 2, 3 and clap and repeat. Because I'm an awesome learner.
Because I'm an awesome learner,
Today's learning is going to be
today's learning is going to be
super duper easy to me.
super duper easy to me.
Yes, it is going to be, because you said so. And the sixth one is that you need to be giver on this path. Why? Because many people come with the in a two way. Once they know some concept already, and they are learning in a new way. The old knowledge stops them, and from learning and embracing the new insight and knowledge. For that, they are requested to be the giver of ego. So keeping ego away on the path of learning makes you more spiritually grounded on the path of growth. Means what? Again, spiritually grounded means your happiness level increases. That is demand of that is new productivity and demand of corporate. That's the reason. Keeping ego away is one thing, and second, what you need to give is what you want to earn more of, you must start giving away the portion of. And for that reason, if you want to make more money, you need to have one thing doing, that is to do charity regularly. If you are earning every single month, then start giving away 5% of 10% of your earning every single month. And in case you are not earning today, then at least have an intention that whenever you will start earning, you will give away 5% or 10% of your earning. Why? Because when you give, you grow, and when you receive, you may survive. And just don't give away for the sake of growth, but also start giving away to inspire others in your surrounding. And while you do so, continue to appreciate what you do and what others do for you, and even what does not happen to you, because what you appreciate appreciates you back. Having said so, let's quickly focus towards on what all days you are going to remain connected in this track with us. So every Sunday, the technical sessions shall happen on 9:30 p.m. EST. Monday, it is going to be again on 9:30 p.m. EST. Tuesday, you must attend RRRP session in case your focus is completely towards getting place. Okay, because this is just not mere for training that you here come, complete your training and go back. No, the ultimate goal is you complete the training, get your profile optimized with the six pillars of Guru schools, and then get placed. Wednesday, do the assignment as a part of unsaid and said assignments. Unsaid assignments that no one is going to ask you what you have to do, that you anyway going to record a summary and put back into the WhatsApp group. There you will continuously going to get the feedback that how you are improving, whether you are improving or not. So that will make you the expert in the topic itself. So that's unsaid assignment. Anything apart from that assignment will be part of said assignment. Okay. Thursday, you are going to again attend RRP session. Remember, it is happening twice in a week, and every time it will get repeated. And even though it gets repeated, you are recommended to attend every single session. Why? Because that enhances your visibility, creates your creative credibility, and forces the team for your marketability. Okay, so that you get place as soon as possible. Friday, in case you are not done the assignment, so Friday you are going to do the assignment for Monday that you have learned, that you complete it, and do repeat whatever you have learned, and do the self-research of the topic that interests you more. Come prepared with the question in case you want to ask for to get its answer on next technical session on Sunday. Saturday, you can choose to relax or have a breather day. Having said so, is it clear to you all that how we are going to remain connected throughout the week? And trust me, apart from these, rest all days are not going to take more than 15 minutes of your time. Is it clear to everyone how we are going to remain connected? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's take a deep dive towards main learning, and I'm going to share my slide with you all. So wait a second and let me share the slides. Yeah. So as I started today, asking you about the stakeholder, because we pointed back towards the stakeholder, let's learn from knowing stakeholders, okay? Because you get to know who all has to be stakeholders. I want someone to read the first paragraph for me, please.
A stakeholder has a interest in the company and can either affect or be affected
by business operations and performance. Stakeholders are those,
Yeah, go ahead.
I can read it because, yeah, stakeholders are those who directly impacted by the project and those who may be indirectly affected. Examples of directly impacted stakeholders are the project team members or a customer who the project is being run for. Typical stakeholders are investors or sponsor, employees, customers, suppliers, communities, governments, trade associations.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So it is a quick definition of stakeholders. It means that you will be not just only working with one person for communication. Yeah, definitely. Sponsors and investors are key stakeholders. Customers are key stakeholders, but there are more people who become the part of stakeholders. For examples, suppliers are there, communities, government, trade association, as well as, vendors are there who are going to be your stakeholders, and they directly impact on your project, or your project directly impacts them as well, because most of the decision will also come considering considering them as or their decision as well, and that may impact with your benefit, that may impact with the benefit of the projects. So that's the reason these people uh, and your business will get connected intermediately. I mean to say that these people are dependent upon project, and your project is dependent upon their decision as well. So is it clear? Who in a nutshell, what you can say, that people, those who are involved in your project and their stake is in this their project directly or indirectly, they will be known as the stakeholder. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So now, because you have known who are stakeholder, then you must know how you will manage this stakeholder. And for that, we have a quick pictorial representation that is over here. You need to first identify who all those stakeholders are, and what document is needed for such stakeholder to remain connected with. And once document need is known, then you analyze their influence and interest, in what all area their influence will be and interest would be. And once you know and analyze that, then you need to also manage their expectation. Based on when you listed down their expectation as a product owner mainly, you will take an action based on that. And once you took the action, then you are going to review and repeat the action and repeat the flow again. Is it clear? This is a simple method to follow to manage any stakeholder. You can say that stakeholder management life cycle. Is it clear? Yeah. And did I start recording? Let me quickly.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it is. Thank you. So this is what are the steps of stakeholder management. So let's move to the next slide. There are 8 principles of stakeholder management, and let's read about it. What are these principles? And then we'll get to know about the skill. So I want someone to read this slide for me, please.
The 8 principles of stakeholder management. These principles highlight action words that illustrate the spirit that should be used in engaging with stakeholders. Acknowledge, monitor, listen, communicate, adopt, recognize, work, and avoid.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. Yeah, so these are few principles for managing stakeholders if you really want to manage them rightly. And you should always be engaging with the stakeholders, and they see. I hear some background sounds. Okay, so I'm listening some echo. If it is coming from your end, please you can go on mute. Okay, so yeah, there are 8 principles it has talked about. Okay, and it is quite important if you're dealing with stakeholder, you should also feel that stakeholders are engaged. Stakeholders should feel that they are also engaged. Why? Because then there is a purpose of concrete project completion. Otherwise, it may appear as if, just give me a second. Yeah, so it may appear as if that these people are just connected and they are not contributing, and this can be really worst when you get to have such feeling of not contributing in any project. You will start feeling alone. Okay, so that's very important, and when you start having such feeling, trust me, you are not going to feel a good contributor. And if you don't feel good contributor, you won't have the feeling of success. And if you won't have feeling of success for any project, I mean, this is something which no one wants to experience. Everyone wants to experience as a contributor. Everyone wants to experience as they have won the project, the real project. And for that, you must need to learn the art of acknowledging any communication, and you need to learn how to communicate. And in communication, active and passive listening both are the part of listening skill. And while you do so, you need to monitor and control the communication and commitment as well. And then you adopt any changes, and for that you need to be quite flexible. And then you recognize those changes, and you continue to work then. And then you need to avoid any delays and any prevention of the project. So these are few 8 principles of stakeholder management. So it requires to have certain skill. Okay, as I said that communication is principle, then here communication is skill as well. So you need to learn how you will communicate and you will engage your audience. Okay, you will engage your stakeholders. Especially as a business analyst, this is communication skill is of key priority. At least if you are confident enough that you are able to communicate your stakeholders, then you are doing your job right. How will you identify? And you should get the opportunity to showcase that as well. And for that very reason, are few of projects for you will be designed and are designed in a way that will identify whether you are able to engage your audience or not. Okay, and that will be completely dependent on and based upon the communication. And for that you need to be well prepared, and from there it comes the skill of planning. We will tell you in certain project, so that we will get to know that you are coming with the plan. And in case you are ignoring the plan, you will also get to see the impact of it. Okay, so that's the so how to have a right plan. For that you will be given the right time as well. Then comes stakeholder expectation management, and that you have learned in the previous slide, how to manage the stakeholder completely. And expectation management is the one of the key lesson, um, uh, key principle. And that is the skill as well. The fourth element or fourth skill is leadership. Leadership is not all about that you are there in a group where you are ordering. No, leadership is just showing some skill to the audience so that they get inspired to follow it. Okay, you don't have to order or you don't have to order, or you don't have to ask people to do certain thing. You do it by yourself in an inspiring way that people feel like they should also following these some activities. Okay, that shows leadership. Okay, leadership is means you take a charge of a project, you take a charge of an activity. Okay, then you the leadership role where you create more leaders. The moment you take charge of some activity, you do it by yourself, next time you will be astonished to see that how it has impacted other fellow peers as well. Certain activity you did, second time if you miss to do, you will be completely surprised in your absence someone else do that activity. And once someone else will do that activity, you will be surprised to see that next time, in case you both forget, there is another leader emerge. And by doing, you are impacting and you are creating more leaders. So this is a simple leadership skill. Also, you need to be mastering the negotiation skill, how where it will be necessary. Say for example, if you remember, when you talk to your customers, I have asked you most of the time, if you are working with your stakeholders in between, project is about to getting over, but still you have to focus on one thing and continue to focus on that one thing. And what is that one thing, everyone? Business analysts need to focus where? Towards to have the continuity of the project. And am I
Planning.
audible?
Planning.
Planning. Okay, that's one answer. Anything else where you will focus more and that will benefit all the stakeholders?
Communication.
In maximizing the profit, maximizing the quality.
Okay, maximizing the quality, maximizing the profit, and see if
Understanding the requirement.
understanding the requirement, you are quite close. So just tell me this, when I said that project is about to over, okay, and if you focus on one thing, definitely if you are giving the right quality product, that is going to help both the parties. But one thing, focusing as a business analyst, if you continue to focus on one thing, that will not let your project get over very, very soon. Okay, it means that you will have the continued work. So where you will focus more and you will bring the focus of your customers towards
Customer
that one.
satisfaction.
Business
To
communication,
the product.
Delivering the right product.
value,
All are right.
Enhancement.
The
suggesting
customer
Okay.
any
gets
And
with the
get
how
product.
any
will
idea,
how will you continue to add
suggesting
value when your project
suggesting
is
When the
suggesting what?
stakeholder is happy.
Timely assessment of the project.
Taking feedbacks.
Okay, feedback is, and what it will bring, what all these will
new business,
Solving problem, solving
Yeah,
the
future
customer
business
satisfaction.
value
Okay,
to the
so
project.
in fact what all those you did, that will bring future
Customer
businesses. Okay,
satisfaction.
but it's not really more means how they will give. For that they must know that there are some work, and how will you make them realize there are some work?
We have to analyze the business need, the change in business need.
Change. So yes, that's important. It's a change is the one thing where you need to bring your focus. You need to bring your customers focus as well. You more focus towards the change, that will continue to turn into cash. It means that you need to negotiate that why some changes are needed in their project, okay, in their business. And when you are able to highlight those changes with more conviction, and you are able to convince your client that some changes are needed, then only they may agree, and they may get ready to embrace those changes. So focusing towards changes are very important, and continuous changes. And ultimately, when you are suggesting some changes, or automatically that you need to, someone's saying something.
No, I think the mic, is open. Yeah, it's
Okay, fine. So when you are suggesting changes and client is embracing those changes, ultimately why it has happened, they will agree to you, because in the past you have added value. By suggesting some changes, they are agreeing that you are going to add value. They are also realizing. Also because you have delivered high quality value, then only the customer will come into your consent that your suggested changes should be accepted. Okay, so that's the one thing I was talking about. And there you will realize how good negotiator you are. And you should also know little bit of project management skill. At least project management tool, managing the project management tool will help you to understand how Atlas project will be managed. And needs assessment, when you will assess the needs, then only you can suggest the changes, and you can demonstrate the skill of negotiation. And of course you need to know, you need to learn the skill of solving a problem, because based on the solution mindset you can only suggest some changes. So these are few skills as a stakeholder management skill for product owner as well as to business analyst. These are recommended to know. Okay, so these are few skills I was talking about, and I will be also asking you to demonstrate these few skills how in the coming projects. So any questions so far, or may I move to the
Sir,
next
I got
slide?
one question, just small one.
Yeah.
Negotiation is only possible when the project is being evaluated by the our team manager, right? The technical team, correct? And they gives us the I mean they give the right figure to BA, exactly what has to be done, and the negotiation goes according to the discussion with the team. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, negotiation is at every place. So say, for example, you are business analyst, and you know that how long time you will require to, complete your analysis work. Okay, that time negotiation skill will come between you and product owner. Okay, you need to agree your product owner onto the time assessment, time you have predicted for some work to be done. That's number one. You need to negotiate with your client why some certain needs are required for them to accept, and why you should do it. Okay, you need to also know that your team, sometime developers can say that okay, these are the changes, but we have some limitation and we cannot do that. You need to negotiate with them that how it is necessary, and still they need to figure it out how they can do it. So as a business analyst, you will see that you are negotiating with everyone. But forget now business analyst, when you become product owner also, you need to go by with this negotiation. As a business, as a product owner, you get to talk to your team member, where if they are demanding high time spent, you will tell that how we have to be very much compartmentalized towards completion of the project, and how in a efficient time spent by doing the efficient time involvement, you can do maximum work done for your project. So there you will be negotiating with your peers, your subordinates, and also you need to negotiate with your customer as well. Just give me a second, guys. Guys, please tell me if you can hear me back. Hello, can you hear me
Yes,
back?
yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I was talking about product owner. So product owner has to not only convince the team to complete certain work in certain time, but also they need to convince their customers for the time taken for the module of a project to complete. They need to also negotiate with them on budget and everything, budget, time, and a timeline. On these all things, they need to negotiate. So this is what and this is how negotiation comes into the picture when business analysts are related or product owners are related. So is it clear to everyone about negotiation skill? Why you need to have at least as a product owner or
Sir,
business
you're not
analyst?
audible.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wait
you
a
are not
sec.
audible, sir.
Oh, just give me a second. Okay, I heard my own voice. I tested my mic. Everything is fine. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Why I was not audible. So is it clear to all of you that why negotiation skills are needed for business analyst and product owner? Yeah. Say
Yes.
yes if
Yes, sir.
okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. Thank you so much. So with your response, I get to know that I am audible. So thank you so much. So when I talk about these, if I distribute them into 5 keys, then leadership comes first, then operation, then processes, and then data. Uh, bec- why? Because these all are heading towards information management, towards technology, because these are ultimately contributing into technology. And if you have the leadership, the operation, the processes, then you can manage those data and let them utilize into technology, because ultimately you are receiving and distributing information when you are managing stakeholders. And what are the then cycle of it? So let's understand. So it starts with all planning. Okay. When you plan the data information, then either you create it, collect it, receive it. Okay. It means that you collate them together. Okay. With me so far, everyone following what I am telling, what I am talking? Because you are going to receive information from your client, right? So you need to know
Yeah.
that any information, how these are managed. Okay. So then whatever data you have received, those data should be the quality data. Okay. And yesterday in the extra complimentary session, if you have attended it live, in case you have not attended it live, also I have told that any data received, not necessary those data are quality data. Okay. Those data are uh, some raw data, some garbage data. Just give me a second, everyone. Okay, so you receive the data. Sometimes those data are garbage data that you need to authorize, um, or you need to improve it in a way that those data become more quality data. How it will become? Because you will work, you will clean the data. Okay, and those data requires to be accessed by the stakeholders who are authorized. You will check for the authorization. You will check people who are authorized, they are able to access those data. And if those data are saved into some file, those file has to be organized properly, and those are maintained well in documentation. Not only that, you need to remember, if any files are getting documented, kept well, it means it should have its backup. You cannot go back telling that, okay, I had created some document and I was creating, say, for example, user guide, business user guide. for my customer to use, but ultimately it was half done and it got failed. I mean, the document got corrupted. I could not store that document well, so I lost all my work or effort. So excuse me, I could not retain those information, and because it is failed, it doesn't mean that your job is done. Because see, this is human nature. When what that giving a reason, they consider that job done. No, even if you give the reason, you have to complete your job. Okay, so you figure out anything and you make sure that whatever the document you had created, uh, the same thing should not be repeated. You always should have the backup for that, because those documents are crucial, necessary, even though business analysts are contributing into that. Okay, if business analysts are contributing towards the creation of those documents that you are going to anyway create after the seventh week together, you will see that these documents play a crucial role. Okay, and then you synthesize and analyze those documents, share and distribute back. Once its job is done, make sure these are disposed. Okay, and for that very reason, in few company you will see that whether you are able to manage the data or not, you will make sure that the company will make sure that you sign some NDC. Do you know what is NDCs are?
Non-disclosure.
Non-disclosure
Consent letter. Yeah. So
consent.
non-disclosure. Yeah. So non-disclosure consent letter, they will make you to sign, so that you follow towards the security and confidentiality of the data. And even though some documents are there without any authorization, they are not shared with out of authorized people. And in case its job is done, you make sure you are archiving them well, you are destroying them well. So in a nutshell, if you will talk about information management life cycle, then you can remember that through this picture. Okay, first you plan it, create, collect, receive, authorize, and make sure the quality authorization or quality information. Then you determine the access and restriction, organize the file, document and describe, store and backup, synthesize, analyze, and share and describe, and then dispose or destroy. Okay. Again, you will receive the new data. You will do the same thing with the new data as well. That's the information management life cycle. If that's the information management life cycle, it means there should be a body of knowledge, right? Because every time you might have focus that we have been talking about body of knowledge. For project, we have talked about project management body of knowledge. For BA, we have talked about business analysis body of knowledge. And because we have talked about information management cycle, there must be an information body of knowledge. So let's see if it is there or not. But are you with me so far? Yeah.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because
Yes, sir.
you will be dealing with information, right, dear business analyst, you will be dealing with information, and it is quite necessary for you to know the cycle of information management. And if you know the cycle of information management, you should know the information management body of knowledge as well. So let's see. So if any body of knowledge must have some knowledge areas, okay, and the processes. So here IMBOK, that is information management body of knowledge, has also the knowledge area. If you'll go to project management body of knowledge, they will also have the some processes and knowledge area that you need to know. So here it says that the knowledge areas are information technology, that will be utilized inside project. Then information system, that will always work with business change. And then business processes, that will always impact business operations. And then business benefit, okay, those benefit will impact on the performance management, and those performance will impact back and let you
We can't
rework
hear
upon
you.
the.
Paused again.
Yes, happens.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Are you not able to hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Now you are audible.
Now you're audible.
So what is happening means my words are getting lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't hear
Yes,
you
sir.
at all.
We can't.
All of a sudden
Um,
it gets lost.
Yeah, it gets
Oh.
blank totally.
Oh, really? Okay. Um, okay, just give me a second. Let me check as my internet is working well or not. So just give me a second. Let me quickly check that. Otherwise, I will switch my internet connection. I'm just checking my internet connection and I'm finding that yeah, it has good speed so far. It has given me 40 Mbps speed one way. The another way it has given me 35 Mbps. I think it is good so far. So I don't know why it is
Do
doing
you have
so.
load shedding? Do you have load shedding over there? It might be, maybe that's what's happening.
Load shedding? No, not at all.
Okay.
Okay. So anyways, never mind. So you just keep me knowing that whenever I'm losing my voice. Okay. Kindly let me know whenever you feel that I'm my voice is lost. Is that all right,
Yes, sure.
everyone? Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
So what I was talking, how business benefit impacts on performance, and when you are continuously focusing on the performance, it will help you to strategize and bring some changes into strategy towards business strategy as well. So having said so, let's explore together what is the knowledge area that include. Okay, so these, so I want someone to read the first two bullet for me, please. Anyone?
Information technology, hardware and software, information systems, IT built into a system that meets business needs and policies.
Yeah. So yes, the first two knowledge areas are information technology, where you will be knowing and communicating with for hardware and software. Then system, because why system everywhere is necessary, because system continues to work and that helps business to build well and understand the business need, and thereby you will know also certain policies. I want someone to read another two bullet point for me, the third and fourth.
Business information created by analyzing and contextualizing data using tools such as information system, business processes, how to evaluate and use the business information to make decisions.
Yeah. So the third knowledge area is business information. Okay. So why it is necessary to analyze and contextualize the information. Information means information will include all the data. Okay. And for that, you need to know that such business information flow and analysis, you must have certain tool. And one of the tool is SharePoint or information system or Tortoise SVN. There, these are the name of the tool where data using that data can be managed. Okay, and data can be analyzed. Okay, then another knowledge area is business processes. Okay, using that you will know how to evaluate the information and why you need to analyze something, why you need to evaluate something, because ultimately it impacts the decision, and decision impacts the what? Decision impacts what?
Business.
Decision.
Business.
Business.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
How-
all the, yes, that's right. Absolutely, all the decision ultimately impacts the business, or you may call it as a profit as well. So yes, that's the reason. So I want someone to read the this fifth one and sixth one for me, please. Anyone?
Business benefit, the desired advantage the business information will provide. Business strategy, the master plan that gives a company a direction, ideally decisions made through the business processes, which are based on business information, will guide the strategy and lead to the realization of the business benefit.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So you remember I spoke that when you are working on the processes, you will evaluate that, you will reach to some decision, and decision will ultimately reach to the benefit, and based on the benefit, you go back and analyze and develop some insight whether what all the strategy you will continue to work upon or you want to change. Okay, if you rework on those strategy and develop some insight, then you will see that your processes needs to be managed well. So okay, am I audible to you all? Say yes if you can hear me
Yes,
well,
yes,
everyone.
Yes,
yes,
you are.
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you. So processes are developed. So should we continue to write those processes? What do you think? What should happen? Because it will be really time consuming, right? So every time you will develop a new process, should you continue to write them? What should be the smart way and smart method to develop a process? Any idea?
And
What did you say? Can you repeat that?
planning.
Planning, yeah, of course, planning will always be there. Then what to do? Means every time, see, processes will be continuous and every time it will be. And for that very reason, the one important thing is that to which we call it as business analysis models. What we call it as, everyone?
Business analysis models.
Yeah. And these business analysis models are for two reasons. One, you don't need to write those processes anymore. And in case you need to write anything, then define those processes through design. Processes needs to be depicted through design. And there comes the importance of business models. So you will not write processes, you will definitely define so that it should be depicted through what, everyone? Through?
Design.
Through design. And these designs, and these designs are the part of business analysis model that we are going to look at. Okay. So how can you design them? Using business analysis model tools. And what are those tools? So those tools are these. I want quickly someone to read these 5 elements for me, or 6 elements for me. What are these?
Activity. Oh,
Activity
ahead,
diagram, mind maps, product roadmaps, SWOT analysis, fishbone diagrams, process flow diagram.
Yeah. So these are the few elements. I want someone to also read these 5 elements as well.
Visual modeling, workflow diagram, ER diagram, WBS, conversion to design, docs template, and understanding.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So guys, understand, as a business analyst, you need to know these all things. These 6 models that you are going to learn more in detail, and these 5 elements as a visual and business analysis model as well. Name might suggest very fancy. Okay, I would request someone from where I am receiving my own echo, if you can go on mute. Okay, so someone is unmuted, and because of you, I'm getting my own echo. Thank you so much. So these name may appear very much complicated, but trust me, when I will say one thing, you will feel relief of sigh. How? The question I'm going to ask, how many of you in the past have ever, even from your school days, ever dealt with flowchart, or at least you have heard the name of flowchart? How many of you?
I have.
Have you ever? You have?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have.
Yes, sir. I have.
Great. Glad to know. Glad to. Anyone here who has not heard of flowchart? Okay. So I believe everyone knows here the flowchart. You know what is good news? What all the diagram we are going to cover today, or we will be talking as a part of business analysis models, my dear friend, their base and foundation is just flowchart. If the foundation and base is the flowchart, do you think that this is going to be super easy for you? Because the foundation is just flowchart and you are aware of flowchart. Yeah, do you agree that there is possibility it
Yes.
can be? Awesome, brilliant.
Yes, sir.
So let me start with the first, first diagram or first business analysis model. And the moment you will see, just tell me, do you see any connection of flowchart into it or not? Do you see in this, even though it is not readable yet, I will make it for readable. But do you see the element of flowchart into it? Yeah?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, simple flow. Now let me make it readable for you. And this is known as activity diagram. Okay. So I'll be asking you certain thing to do after the session as a set assignment. Wait, let me make it readable first for you so that I can share back with you. Okay. Where it has gone. Okay, let me see. Okay, can you see now the more better in the presentation style?
Yes, we
Can
can.
you see? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
this
but
is called.
But it's still not I mean, it's little better, but not like completely.
readable.
Okay. 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 Wait a second. Let me do this again. I don't think I will be able to make it, but slightly definitely I will. I should be able to. Yeah, I'm going to reshare my screen. Yeah, it's slightly better now, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So what you see is called as activity diagram. Activity diagram, as I said, built upon flowchart, and this flowchart and this activity diagram will always start with first dot. Okay, a circular dot, and how it will end? It will end the dot in a circle. Okay, so when this symbol will appears, a dot in a circle, it means the step ends there. And when you see the dot, just a black circular dot, it means it is starting from there. And what you see here is a simple activity diagram of a flow of a cash deposit, cash withdrawal. Okay, and this cash withdrawal is triggered by a customer, and it also connect back with the bank. So a person has gone to withdraw some amount from ATM machine, and he is here. This diagram says that how it is connecting with the ATM machine and how it is connecting back with bank, connecting back with bank as well. So here it is mentioned. So you understood what exactly it is, this diagram is all about? For which process it is talking?
Yes.
Cash withdrawal, right? Yeah. So it all start by a customer. Customer insert ATM card first, and the moment ATM card is inserted, ATM machine validates that. And whenever it has to decide whether it is a valid ATM machine, whether it is a valid ATM card or invalid ATM card, the process will change. Steps will change upon based on that. Okay, if it is valid, it will go to next step. But if it is invalid, it will eject the card. And when it will eject the card, customer has to take the card and go back. But if it is valid, customer has to enter PIN. Enter what, everyone?
PIN.
Enter PIN.
Enter PIN. But when you enter PIN, what happens? It has to be also authorized, right? And when it has to be authorized, okay, it will check. And generally, a decision is taken through the decision box. What you see is the diagonal square.
Diamond.
And this is also called as diamond. So it is diagonal square, and it is also called as a diamond or decision box. Okay, there it means some decision is coming. Okay, so the moment PIN has been authorized, it will check whether it is valid or invalid PIN. What will happen when it is invalid pin? Okay. Again, if it is invalid pin, it will come back and tell you, okay, if it is invalid pin, it will come back and it will eject the card. You will have to take the card and go back. What if it is valid pin? Now you will have to perform a new input. So these dark greens are the input, okay? And, these are the user's input. These dark green rectangles are user's input, and what you see is actually the processes from the system, okay, in the light green. With me so far, everyone?
Yes,
So
sir.
Yes, sir.
once your PIN is validated for right authorization, you will be asked to input the amount you want to and you want to withdraw. The moment you will enter the amount, again the balance will be checked, and balance has to be always greater than the amount entered, and it will see whether balance is greater than the amount entered or less than that. So if it is less than that, again it will show the available balance, eject the card, and you will have to take the card back. What if the balance is greater? Okay, if balance is greater, then you need to come back and take the money from the slot. Okay, and when you're taking here, the money is dispensed. Okay, you are collecting your money. At the same time, the debit process happened from your bank account. Okay, and once both meets, debit has happened, you have collected the cash, then again it will show the balance. As once balance is showed, then the card will be ejected, you take the card back, and the process gets completed. So this is a simple representation of cash withdrawal, for cash withdrawal through activity diagram. So did you, if you understood this simple activity diagram, how simplified it was for cash withdrawal, can you also write for cash deposit, everyone?
Yes.
If you could understand the cash withdrawal, you can definitely write for the cash deposit. So if you can, try to develop as an assignment one activity diagram for cash deposit. So where you can do, there are today multiple and plethora of tools where it has been created. This what you see is created inside this tool, okay, lucidchart.com. So either you can also create it, or you can utilize simple Microsoft Word, or you can utilize Canva, or you can utilize PowerPoint presentation itself, or you can create inside MS Visio as well. So these are the name of the few tools where you can develop business analysis model. Number one, that is activity diagram. Okay, so this was activity diagram. So yeah, any question? Can we move to the next? Okay. I hear some kid is participating. So did he learn business analysis model? Okay, some kid was participating to learn business analysis model. I was super excited how easy I made it. So by the way, rest of all of you are with me so far, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Okay, so what is this? This is mind map. I'm not going to explain it. However, every single day, because I explain mind map. Do you all remember where do I use mind map? Yeah, do you remember?
Phone.
Yes, yes, you are absolutely right. We start, in fact, every single day with code of honor that is developed inside mind map, where the central idea is always there, and based on that there are branches, sub branches, and the output. So this is one of the example of mind map, and there are multiple different types of mind map available. So you need to know that in mind map what exactly you can do. So this is how you generally develop. Okay, so this is mind map, and softwares you can utilize mind map software. There are various mind map softwares available, and also you can create it in Lucid Chart and various other tools. So This is one of them. What I show you mind map upon, that is another tool to which is known as Xmind. Xmind is the name of the software that I use for mind mapping. Okay. What you see is the product roadmap. Okay. So product roadmap, you can easily create in the various tools. Lucidchart.com. Product owners generally showcase, the roadmap into Smartsheet is one of the tool. Also create sometime in Excel. MS Project is another tool. So these are the name of the tools wherein they develop the product roadmap. So this roadmap, what you see is talking about different types of team. They are working in parallel and together to contribute towards a project. And in every quarter, each team is contributing equally. So if if you develop such roadmap, so you can read them. So in quarter one, team will be performing for Salesforce integration. Salesforce is the name of the tool that they are integrating with one of the existing project. Okay. So if team one will start contributing into quarter one, it means they will continue to contribute in quarter two as well. Okay. So for 2 quarters, they have been working. Then comes for team two. Team two has to work at the same time for reference keys development and organization chart automation. It means I'm not going to read everything. What you see is that every team at the parallel have been dedicated some work to complete. Okay. And subsequently inside quarter three and quarter four as well. So a simple representation of time of a team in period. Okay. So that is how product roadmap is developed. The idea should be developed in a way that is presented in a progress bar, that it will involve certain time for certain activity to be completed in certain timeline. So this is how the product roadmap is supposed to contribute towards defining a process of a project development. With me so far, were you able to understand how you can develop a product roadmap? Just roadmap is a timeline, and it can be represented in this manner. Yes?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's move to the another one. Okay, and this is simple analysis method where 4 blocks you see, and you always need to identify some activity which is going on. What are the strengths of it? What are the weakness of those activity? What these activities create the opportunity, and any risk which is also known as threats are available based on those opportunity. That is called as SWOT analysis. So in case you are talking about any changes with your customer, you can always present the SWOT analysis, where you will be talking about if you will embrace these changes, these are the possibilities that you are going to get. These are the opportunities will create. This could be not threat for you, but it could be threat for your competitors. And in case at all you want to compare it with the existing business, you can definitely talk about the threat. If you don't use it, what you will be losing, and what are the weakness of this change if you want to. So complete SWOT analysis, when you present it well in front of customer, they understand that you have think it through well, so that you can showcase them the right solution, and there the SWOT analysis comes into the picture. Okay. Then comes into the fishbone diagram. Fishbone diagrams are dedicated towards identifying the root cause. Why it is called as a fishbone? Because what you see is a representation in a fishbone shape itself. Can you all see that this has been presented in a fishbone shape? Yeah, you can see that, right? So the main idea behind that is that there will be always a problem, and those problems has to be analyzed in a way that you reach to the root cause. And in case you are not reaching to the root cause, its analysis will continue to happen. Okay. Say, for example, I don't know whether I have talked about it or not. Let's talk about this. Okay. So first of all, what is going to happen is that a developer develops a code. Okay. Developer develops a code at his local machine. Okay. Right? Come on, answer me if you are
Yes, sir.
understanding.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, and he will check whether it is working or not. Okay. And okay, whether it is working or not, he will check, and he will develop, how he will check. So when coders test it at his local, it will call as unit test. Okay. Unit test environment done at local. Unit test done at local environment. Okay. Unit test
Yes,
done
sir.
at local environment.
Local in.
Here each and every developers are contributing. Each and every developers are contributing towards their local machine, towards developing a software. And when they develop the software, what they will do is that they will deploy those developed software at one place where all of the developer can access that, and to which we call it as a development environment. What we call it as development environment. And this dev environment will be tested by testers and developers both. Okay, with me so far? Yep.
Yes.
I'm
Yes, sir.
still audible. Yeah, thank you. Now, here both the people are testing. There are mainly developers are testing. Now
Can't
what
hear you,
happens?
sir.
Okay, you can't hear me still? 1, 2, 3, check. Can't
Not
you hear
able
me
to
still?
hear, sir.
Oh my
He's froze, I
God.
think.
Oh really?
Now
Am I audible?
now it's audible, sir.
No audio.
Wait a
Your voice
second.
get blank sometimes for few
Is it
seconds.
fine now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
can hear
Now
you.
we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'll have to looks like check for the continuous. It is choppy, so I'll work on it. Thank you for the feedback, everyone. So I was talking about the development environment, where developers can work together. Then from development environments, developers migrate everything into test environment. Where they migrate everyone? Where do they migrate everyone?
Test environment.
Test environment.
Test environment. Okay. And who test in the test environment, everyone?
Testers.
Yes.
Testers. Okay. And once it is done by testers, and they are testing module by module by module by module. Okay. Now, all the modules have been once tested, it has to be integrated together, right? To which, when they integrate it together as a part of system, it will called as
Sits.
SIT environment. That is system integration testing environment, and that will be tested by not just that testing will not just be performed by um, in-house tester, but also it will be a customer's tester who will test it. Okay, customer testers and in-house tester. With me so far?
So both the team.
Yes, sir.
So both the team will do that. I mean, the
Yeah.
team from the. Okay, understand.
Yeah, both the team will do, but first in-house testers will do. Okay, so if you once you are done with that, what will happen? Again, before again once it is done, the complete system integration testing is done, then it is in-house tested, it is tested by customer, but it has to be also tested in a way that end user has accepted it to start working upon that. And that environment will be known as UAT environment. What environment, everyone?
UAT.
UAT environment.
Yeah. So
The interface.
to which we call it as a user acceptance testing environment. And who will test it? Okay, this testing is done by customer himself. Okay, customers and their business users also, in-house means vendors, business analysts, as well as few testers. Okay, these all people are involved into UAT environment. And once UAT environment is no audio.
We lost them again.
Oh man, am I audible now? Wait a second.
Now
Let me
we
switch.
can hear you, sir. Yes,
No.
didn't.
Okay. Let me switch the um switch the internet. Okay. Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yes.
Okay. So just give me a second. Let me switch the internet and you will hear me back. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks. Just give me a second. Yeah, I have not yet changed it, so I'm just in process of changing it.
Your voice broke, sir.
Okay. Am I audible now, guys?
Now, yes, sir. But
Now, yes.
your
So
full
I have-
sentence wasn't audible.
Okay, so I was changing the internet. Now I'm back. So just give me few more seconds. All right. So I'll be speaking back. So before I was speaking back, so this was what you have heard so far is all about, uh, what you have heard about, UAT environment. Okay. So what happens after UAT environment is done? Any idea?
Deployment.
I hope you, which
Release.
environment? Okay. So after
Release.
UAT
Yeah,
environment,
deployment.
will be prepared in a way to deploy into the real-time environment, to which we will call it as a live environment. What we will call it as, everyone?
Live environment.
Live environment.
So live environment is just like Amazon.com or what X.com, Facebook.com. These are the live environment, or .com that is already functioning. But what will happen if some problem will come inside, inside the live environment? There should be some method that you cannot check things into the live environment, because you don't want things to stop in ongoing live environment. You must have something to which we will call it as a,
we will
we will
deploy
call,
it in a beta version.
okay, that's good, beta version. But this live environment is also called as production environment. What it is called as, everyone?
Production environment.
Production environment.
Production environment. This is called as live environment. And to check something, if something is breaking, failing into live environment, for what, you must have something mirror of it, and that mirror will be called as either beta, or it will be called as a pre-prod
Prototype.
environment. Yeah, what it will be called as, everyone? Pre-prod environment.
Pre-prod.
Or it will also be called as
Prototype.
mock prod environment, okay, or prod mock environment, or just mock environment. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
If it is clear, yeah, say yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So what I'm doing is that I'm just telling you what is the flow, means
Where all it gets tested, where it comes back. Why I was telling you that? Because I want you to explain this to you, fishbone diagram. Okay, so in fishbone diagram, if something fails, it's a backward analysis goes. Okay, in backward analysis, you see that was it some tool which is not working. If tool was not working, you will check what all the tools were involved. So if something has failed into, say, for example, into the live environment, production environment, so you will identify, was there some processes written in a way that it should not be? Was it the problem of the process? So you identify the problem was not even in the process. You go back and check, is there problem with the people, that whatever the instruction they had not they had been given, they did not follow it well. Okay, was it someone who noticed that this kind of problem had happened? And what kind of problem it could be? It could be any kind of problem. Say, for example, the moment it goes all the time into the live environment, what you see is inside live environment, it's not a major problem, but the logo always flicker. Okay, and it has not ever happened in anyone's machine. Okay, and whenever it goes to live environment, the first user has complained that logo is flickering for him. Okay, and it appears distorted. And when you check, when you are tracing it back, you find there was one developer who also had faced similar issue in the past, but he had to change his entire machine. With me so far, everyone is trying to understand?
Yes, sir.
So was it the problem with actual people? No. You will trace it back what material he was using. So it could be the spatial configuration for a spatial machine. It had the similar problem. And when you try to trace it back, then you also see that it had a environment specific, or it was some special instruction from the manager. But you identify that there was a spatial configuration of the system which X user was or one user was one developer was using. He was facing problem. My first customer was using the similar type of configuration, and then he was reporting, not anyone else. And by just going tracing it back, you reached out towards the cause, and then you decide, okay, it can be fixed, and you decide to fix, and you fix, and then you see the problem is solved. First, it has to be identified. So this is how you trace it back using these skeletons, using these bones, and that's the reason it is called as fishbone diagram. With me so far, everyone?
Yes, sir. And this is required when the problem is there. I mean, it is the brainstorming, correct?
Yeah,
To
yeah,
identify
yeah. So
the
there,
possible
right,
causes.
right.
Yeah. So there are multiple methods using that you can identify the root cause. Okay. So one of the method is a fishbone diagram, is the business analysis model. Okay. Got it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So if you have got it, let me quickly see what comes next. And next is very, very important. And this is called as process flow diagram. What I am going to bring it to you is called as process flow diagram. What it will be called as, everyone?
Process
flow diagram.
Process flow
Flow
diagram.
diagram.
Yeah. So process flow diagram is a simple depiction of the processes. What you see here is something which will define the process flow between customers, sales, and sales office management, and their credit node and debit node, something like that. So this is just one example you can perceive as. So what customer exactly does, customer buys a product, and how he buys the product. First, sales call happens for him. When sales calls happen, then customer buys the product. And when he buys the product, some extra credit is given to customer, and for that credit form is generated. And once credit form is generated, order entry is given. So always remember this process flow diagram, the this shape, what you the shape of button, or this is the oval shape. So
Capsule.
this is the depiction of the start of a process. However, the similar shape is the end of the process. Okay. So this you need to remember. Again, the diamond shapes are the decision box, is towards the decision, and the circles, rectangles are the input, and what this shape is, these shape will define the processes. Okay, with me so far? This is for process flow diagram. Yeah. And
Yes, sir.
I hope I am still audible to you all. Yep.
Yes,
Good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So, once credit form is generated, its entry will take place, and once orders entry will take place, order form will be generated, and those order form will always be approved. But these forms are approved, after that the credit check will happen, okay, by the credit department. How much credit is available, or how much credit has been consumed, okay, and um, whether this person holds in the past the right credit or not, whether it has been defaulted or not. After knowing this all, again the sales can be rejected or will continue to be approved, okay, based on his past record. Okay, then what happens when a credit check happens? In case in the past any account receivable is there or not, uh, for this particular person to whom the sales has happened, and uh, if then based on that, if it is not, if it is not required, you just leave that. If it is required, you will check for the credit terms, on what credit terms he is with you now. And this sales can be anything. This sales can be of any gadget, where customer is frequently buyer of that. It could be of a loan also, okay, if customer has been frequently buyer of, and there such continuous check happens, okay. And based on that, um, uh, based on that, credit department issue the report of credit for that particular person. And if everything goes well, then teams approve the sales of those loans as well. So this is a simple method of a customer sales and credit department with the help of management. Because here, sometimes when as the sales of a loan, credit manager also comes into the place. So this is a simple process flow diagram where sales of a product is happening. Here the product had been, say for example, could be of a loan product. Okay, so this happens in process flow diagram. So again, these diagrams, where did I create? Where it has been created? I have told already about it. Do you remember?
Lucid.
The lucid chart.
Lucid chart. So in case you need to attempt to create, what you can use, that you can use the lucid chart itself. Or today the things have changed so far that you can also utilize, apart from lucid chart, this thing, what do you call it, as a MS Visio or MS PowerPoint or Canva. These are the some tools that you can think of utilizing. Okay. So okay. So I just quickly wanted to tell you one important thing. And for that, I'm going to share back my screen with you all. So just give me a moment. I want to tell you this. Okay. What you see is another type of mind map. Okay. Now you can, if more advanced mind map you will use, you will see that it comes with the pictorial representation as well. I had shown you earlier this one. Okay. But it also comes with various types of various kind of pictorial representation. I had also shown you SWOT analysis to be done in the simple manner, but it can be made more creative, like this. Okay. The SWOT analysis, what you see here, can you all see this? SWOT analysis has been done in a pictorial representation. This is how you can do it.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can.
So this process flow diagram, what you have learned here, this process flow diagram, it is telling that symbol. So this symbol, it will define start and end of the function. The arrow will decide the connector, and it establishes the relationship. For input and output, this will be a slightly diagonal rectangle, which is also known as parallelogram. That is for input and output. This shape or the another shape which I had shown you over here, this shape will define the process of it, and this is the decision. Okay, the diamond box is the decision. Okay, so this is how you can remember it. Now, how can you design then using business analysis models? Something visual modeling, workflow diagram, diagram, that we will be looking at it tomorrow, not today. Okay. So I just wanted you to understand these few, and this is going to be interesting. A quick reminder to all of you that what kind of uh, you have got the assignment today. You have to create a activity diagram, for cash deposit. Do you all remember now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this has to be simple. So any questions so far? I think today we were just talking about the pictures, diagram, and all. So I think it should be quite easy for you to go ahead. And if you require, you need to just go through back based on the name of those diagram and what will be the use of those diagram. Tomorrow, if you are breaking down requirement into the smaller pieces, you will be creating various user stories. Okay. And if you are creating various user story, there you can attach these process flow. These diagram you can attach as a part of attachment, as a part of picture. Is it clear? And we will be doing its practical as well in the week number. I think next week itself. Okay. With me so far?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So if we will be doing more in the next week or so next week is going to be very crucial for you, but we are going to meet tomorrow. So having said so, I quickly want to hear from Ritesh. Ritesh, one word from you. What do you feel like saying on today's learning? Were you able to connect and understand it well?
Yes, I could, and it was easier, and we'll be able to do the assignments as well.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. And let's hear from Aruna Gumaddi. Aruna, what do you feel like saying? You can unmute and speak up. One word that comes in your mind.
Yes, sir. It was good, sir. Just need more practice on how to do the flow charts and everything. It was a good session.
Yeah, and I'll make you to practice that. So don't worry.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, sir.
yeah. By the way, I forgot to ask you one thing. Anyone here for the first time did attend this session? Anyone here for the first time? It was
Sir,
your
this
day
is
one?
Reshma. Yeah, this is
Reshma,
Reshma.
was
And
it? Okay, was
yeah,
it your day one?
yes, sir.
Oh,
I did
okay.
attend the complimentary class, but then it was about Excel.
Yeah. And did you happen to go through the recording, the previous two recordings?
Yes, sir. So
Okay.
still, I think I'll go through once more because I still feel there are some gaps, but still, it was very informative and I could understand a lot. And the tools which can be helpful as a business analyst, it was very informative. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
I'm glad that you were able to connect. What about you, Savita? Was it your day one, or you had attended in the past as well? Savita Moti, you can unmute and speak.
You can unmute and speak. So, like, I have joined the class previously. Like, I'm
Okay.
not new.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Today's class
Awesome.
was really easy. I was able to follow most of the topics. I think like once more, if I see the recording, I'm sure I'll be more confident.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Awesome.
Savita.
Thank you so much, Savita. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So, what about you, Sujata? Sujata Kumari.
Yeah, today's session was easy to follow, and I understood most of it. So I'll go through of it again. So yeah, it was great class.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sujata. And what about you, Manasi? Mansi Phule.
Yes, yeah. It was really informative, and I'm recollecting all my previous experience. So it is really nice to attend today's class.
Awesome. I'm glad to know about it. Then quickly let's hear from Ronak, and then we'll move to Swati and Veena. So Ronak, what do you feel like saying? You can
Yes, sir.
unmute and speak up.
It was very well explained and could connect every single dot, and it was very informative and entertaining.
Thank you so much, Ronak. Let's hear from Swati, and then we'll move to Veena and then Janitu. Yes, Swati.
Hi, sir. So it was very easy going session today. So I was able to relate to the most of the flow diagrams from the previous our older school days, the business and models. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
actually, I would like to ask you one more thing. So we were discussing these models, right? So how can we know which model we have to follow if we are taking some business analysis model we have to use?
Right. So let me come back to on this question's answer tomorrow when we will be completing few more models. Is that okay, Swati?
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Let's hear from Veena and Janitun, and then we'll move to Samira. So yeah, Veena, what do you feel like saying?
Very good session, sir. And I was just recollecting all the flowcharts I used during coding in my previous experience.
Wow, brilliant. Thank you so much, Veena. Let's hear from Janitun, and then we'll move to Samira, and then yeah, go ahead, Janitun.
Yes, sir. It was a good session. As like others, I also need to hear once again.
Yeah,
I need to take some note for better understanding, but you described well.
Yeah, definitely, Janitun. So thank you so much for sharing. Let's hear from Samira. Samira, you have some question or something? You can unmute and speak up, Samira. Samira, you can unmute yourself and speak up. Okay, Samira, 1, 2, 3. We'll come back to you, Samira. Let's hear from Ponu, and then we'll move to Supriya. So yeah, Ponu, you can unmute and speak up.
It's not very interesting, sir. As well, it's very informative. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Let's
I
hear
like
from
the flowchart part.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ponu. Let's hear from Supriya, then we'll move to Sangeeta and then Amit. Yes, Supriya.
Yes, sir. It was very straightforward, easy, and simple to follow.
Simple to follow. Sangeeta, what do you have to say? What do you feel about it? Sangeeta, you can unmute and speak up. Sangeeta, we can't hear you. Okay, I think Sangeeta is not available. We'll come back to you, Sangeeta. Okay, Sangeeta has unmuted. Yes, Sangeeta.
Yeah, the topic was more valuable and knowledgeable, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Let's hear from Amit, and then we'll move to Rachana, and then we'll come back to you, Samira. So yes, Amit, what did you feel like, sir?
Yeah, so a really interesting session. Today in the afternoon, me and Nitish were discussing about how we're going to go about gathering the information and stuff. So this does help, definitely. A lot of homework to do, but lots of good info. Thanks a lot.
Yes, definitely. You're welcome. Let's hear from Rachna, then we'll move back to Samira and then Nitish. So Rachna, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, so sir, again, it is like not so easy subject to, teach us, but still it is like we are on the track. I am especially, I'm able to, relate with that. But thing is, I'm out of this field. So anyways, I have to work hard towards that. But today's session was good and easy to understand. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So don't work hard. We will make you to work smart and you will feel more comfortable. That should be the objective. Yeah. Thank you so much, Rachna,
Thank
for sharing that. So if Samira is there, she can, but Samira, I don't think, yeah, she is there.
Hi,
So
sir.
Samira, yes, Samira, you had some question or something?
Sir, today's session was very good. It reminded me of when I used to study business. So I do remember the SWOT analysis we used to do, and I do it every day in my life, SWOT analysis. So
Sure. Wonderful. And any question do you have, Samira? I said that I saw your hand was raised.
no, nothing.
Okay, thank you so much, Samira, for concluding this way. Let's hear from, I think, Uma, and then we'll move back to Supriya again, I guess. Supriya, are you done, by the way?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Supriya, yeah. So, yeah, Uma, over to you.
Gaurav sir, it was very nice, and I really liked it.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm glad that you were able to connect. And Nitish, what do you have to say? What do you feel like saying?
Yes, sir. Few of these things we are doing it already, like SWOT analysis, process flow in marketing. So I
Yeah,
could correlate with that. So it was interesting session. Thank you.
Super. Yeah. So let's hear from Sangeeta. Sangeeta, did I hear from you yet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's hear from Devi Mukherjee. Devi Mukherjee, over to you. What do you feel like saying?
It was really interesting. You remind me when I was in college. It was called quantitative methods. That's what it reminded me of.
Yes. So tomorrow again we are going to cover a lot. So yeah. So see you tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. EST. I'll be also sharing the recording of it. So thank you so much, everyone. For did I miss anyone, by the way? Omar, did I miss you by any chance? No, I think we heard you. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for your contribution, and thank you so much for learning these all models, and we'll continue to learn tomorrow as well. So thank you, bye-bye, and good night. Talk to you
Thank you,
soon.
sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.